Hey, how you doing? Yo, what's up, Ryan? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. So what is saying we want to talk about just how the internship's gonna go in terms of me working?
Yeah,
And what time I need to clock in?
you're just gonna wanna work on Saturdays
Yeah.
and any other day that you want, with 8 to 10 to 12 hours.
Oh,
Some weeks you can work more. I just wish that stupid next gen program would come on.
yeah.
They never replied back
No.
Your shirt keeps bunching up.
Let me just tuck it in real. Alright, is that better?
Yeah, just make sure the front flap and all that doesn't have any bunched up stuff.
No.
You know, wear your glasses?
Alright, here.
Go over some of your questions so you've got them in mind.
Yeah. First, we usually ask them to introduce themselves. Should I ask what made you?
Morning.
Should I ask what made you decide to attend Texas Western?
Yeah. Yeah, how'd you come with the decision to attend?
Good old Stewart. Always. I didn't think I was gonna get A with Ohan.
I know,
But I think we deserved it, you know.
you do.
That's what we tried. Or, you know. I know she was a part of the torch program with that, what's her name? Latoya or someone. I'm nervous. I don't know why.
I don't know either.
You're not nervous, it's been not everybody. She was a student ambassador. Hey. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Come on in.
Hi.
How are you? I'm Shiloh's grandmother.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you'll be right in the middle, right? Yeah.
We're waiting for our producer to start everything and our other co-host, but just feel free to sit there in the middle. Right here. Thank you.
Do you mind if I put my keys somewhere?
Oh,
I don't like have a bag.
Yeah.
No worries. Just put them anywhere and that chair's fine. How's your day?
Good, how are you? How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just steady. Yeah, well, our guy called us and told us that,
You got stopped by the police.
stopped by the police.
Oh, no.
We're speeding. So we're going, it's okay, it's all right, you know, just get here.
Yeah.
Don't talk back to the cops. We don't want to hear that it got worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was driving over here, it was like, it said it was gonna take 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, 40, and it was like, 40 minutes? How did you actually? And it was because of like traffic or something. So
Oh, and construction. Everywhere you look, there's construction, which is so stupid. I
it's
don't know.
crazy.
Because it gets all going at the same time.
And it'll be like, where I work is kind of like tight, I guess.
Where do you work?
I work at Kava right now.
What is it?
Kava, it's like a Mediterranean kind of like fast like line service restaurant.
Where's it at?
Oh, it's thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's in Waterside, kind of off Bryan Irving in Fort Worth.
Okay, okay.
So it's kind of like tight, and they're always doing construction over there,
They are.
and it's awful.
We go to that Sam's over there, we go to
Yeah.
the Costco, and we go to all that, yeah.
It's awful because I'll be. They used to schedule me like right after one of my classes ended, when we were still, doing classes. And I would have to like drive over there, and I would always be like 5 minutes late because the traffic cut off to one lane, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this.
Oh, I know. What do you do there?
I just work the front. It's like food service, and so I just serve people. It's pretty easy. And then in this summer, I'm working with the kids again at a different community center. So.
Well, what community centers are you working at? Hey, Mr. Stewart,
Hey.
how you doing?
I am
See the
good.
cops let you go.
Yeah, they did. I was going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. He gave me a warning, so it's,
Oh, we're good.
yeah, so I think he just needed something to do, but-
Yeah. But go ahead, you were saying?
Well, right now, I'm going to start at Southwest Community Center.
You work for the city of Fort Worth?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
So right now,
Shiloh applied for the Next Generation program. Are you familiar with that?
I think I've heard of it. I don't know if I know anyone in it or anything.
Yeah, well, it goes up to 22 years of age. Of course, Shiloh's a lot younger, but I'm just saying. But we haven't heard back from them. They hire you and they hire you for 20 hours a week and $18 an hour, and for 8 weeks, just to kind of find out what all the city does. But we haven't heard yet. So he's gonna be doing his internship over here, 10 to 12 hours for mass comm. Are you a mass comm agent?
Yes,
too?
I am.
Where are you gonna do your internship?
Well, I don't know yet. I'm gonna be like a sophomore next year, and so I'm still figuring that out. I'm trying to get a summer internship next year.
Yeah, that's what he got this summer. Yeah, he's gonna be here.
Yeah.
And here is available. Dr. Dean did a deal with him. We're not, I don't know, it's 10 to 12 hours a week. It's 120 hours, 10 to 12 hours a week. And, but the other people that have podcasts are UNTHSC over there off Camp Bowie.
Mhm.
And of course, the newspapers. You can't do internships at Wesleyan, can you?
You can.
By the way.
Last semester we had an
Oh,
intern
hey, oh, yeah.
for the Rambler, which is our student newspaper.
Yeah. Because he wants to get on there with them.
I know, but
Yeah,
it's
our
a
work is
whole
out
thing
here.
with hiring right now. It's
They're
really
hiring
slow.
right now. They had a position for
I
the
think so.
Rambler
Probably-
doing production stuff. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. Probably
He didn't
next year.
apply, but they have an
Oh,
opening.
we're hiring a new teacher, a new instructor, because Dr. Colley left.
Right, no, but this is for the
For the
Rambler.
Rambler, for the students.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because
If you look on the third page of the careers,
mm,
that's where they have that position posted.
because, yeah, it's like a thing right now where the hiring for next semester is gonna be weird because of work study funds.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
kind of allocating that, but.
We're here, so we don't know, but yeah, it's internship. We're hoping we can get it. It starts next week, but we need the lady from here to sign the paperwork. That's something else.
Send me to sign something?
Yeah, but because it's just gonna be 10 to 12 hours, and we want the Saturday that he's here for the
Yeah.
pocket to count toward that internship.
Yeah. Yeah, why
The
wouldn't
driving,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is our guest, Miss Josie
Oh.
Juarez.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Just maybe try to get about like this close to it.
Yeah, bring it all the way up to
Yeah,
you, Josie, and
yeah,
talk
yeah,
loud,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
and talk real loud.
Okay.
Well, not real loud, but loud,
Yeah.
yeah.
So where's our engineer?
I don't know where Angela went, let me go get that guy. They were looking for Lennox, but Angela was sitting here, there's his chips. So let me go see if I can find him.
So how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Well, Brown, good day. Had a slight, wrinkle in my morning. I got stopped by the cops on the way here.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, with a little gray seat, he decided to let me go with a warning,
Oh, that's good.
which doesn't go on your record. It just,
Yeah.
It's nice.
yeah. He was a real young looking guy. He looked like he might have been your age, Shiloh. He was a real young looking guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Right.
You guys take any classes together?
We took Mass Media and Society
Yeah, last
2
year.
semesters.
Oh.
Yeah, last semester, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you didn't do the writing across media, or had you already taken it?
Yeah, but I think I was in another class than you, I think.
Oh, I forget that you had 2 sections of that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
So you guys, is that your major title, mass communications, or is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you guys are the same major and everything. Huh? It's
Yeah.
ought to be fun.
Yes.
Are you going to classes this summer?
No, not this summer. I'll be too busy.
Lucky you, what are you gonna be doing?
Well, I'm working.
Oh, that's right, the city of
Yeah.
Fort Worth.
Yeah, Monday.
She works at the
Monday through
community
Friday.
centers.
Oh, okay.
That's where Shiloh met Future Leaders Outreach
Yeah.
Network.
Oh, wow.
He was a part of the
Great.
Rising Star program.
Oh my gosh, I worked there. Wait,
Oh,
you know that?
Yeah.
It's another thing they have in common. Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you work there?
I worked there last summer. We did a summer program. Usually it's during the school year.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was kind of their first year having the summer program. So it was me and 2 other adults working with
Yeah.
kids, and it was great. But they were not doing it this summer, which is so
Yeah,
sad.
and they had really scaled back even last year because we did Rising Stars every year, every summer for years.
That's
But,
where Shiloh met everything. I
yeah,
mean,
that's
we
where
were
they
there
really met
for,
Shiloh doing Rising Stars.
Oh, wow.
But when Steve left, they kind of had trouble getting it reorganized, I guess. And
it
so,
started out at the Arlington Heights over there. What was the name of that one in Arlington Heights? That community center? You know the one I'm talking
was that
about.
that was that fire? No, that's Firehouse. in
It's
Fort
by
Worth.
the fire station.
Yeah, fire station. Yeah, fire station,
I went
yeah.
there as a kid.
Yeah.
When I was like young for the summer camp, not
Okay.
Rising Stars. But
Yeah, the fire station.
Here he is,
Oh,
the man about town, who we were looking for.
You're doing more than one show, I take it.
Just running around, just staying busy. Sorry to keep y'all waiting.
No problem. Are all of us in the camera? Yeah.
I'll double check right now.
Yeah, and tell her about are you gonna set up the,
Yeah, I already got everything set up.
because y'all gonna be on YouTube also. Shiloh's gonna have you on YouTube. Is that all right with you?
yeah.
Okay. Well, Josie, that's great that you work at the community centers.
Yeah, I love it. Cause I mean, since I did it when I was younger, it was like
Shiloh went and did volunteer work at Como,
Hey.
what, 2 years ago?
Como was a big community center.
Yeah, he didn't like it
Giant.
too much.
There's a lot of kids. that
Those kids
register
are
there.
real wild.
Yeah.
They are.
That's one of the
Really.
biggest community centers I've ever seen. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty big over
And
there.
those kids are everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Because I
Yeah.
did volunteer work at Riverside Community Center,
Oh,
which is
wow.
pretty small, pretty quaint. And then I went to Fire Station Community Center, which if y'all have been there,
Right,
it's
it's,
Yeah.
it's not big, but it's a very good size. And then Southwest, I actually haven't been there in person yet, so I guess we'll see.
where are you gonna be?
The Southwest Community Center.
Oh, yeah, that's one's right over there by Southwest High School,
Mhm.
right behind there.
Yeah,
It's okay, it's pretty small. I've never seen a whole lot of people there. You
maybe
know.
maybe that's for the best.
Yeah.
That's good.
we were able to keep the young people kind of in line at Como, but it wasn't easy. You know, I have to admit it wasn't easy. They're like bouncing off, everybody's bouncing off the walls at once, and it's kind of hard to rein them in. But,
Oh, yeah, Shiloh was trying to read to him.
Well, how old was the group you were trying to reach?
I think they were between 6 and 8 years old. Yeah, something around there.
And they weren't interested in the story nor the pictures.
Yeah. Well, you know, and you know that unfortunately, if you get read to at home when you're young, it opens your imagination and you're more open to it. But if you're not read to, you know, or you know, I will admit I don't remember getting read to a lot. But if I had a question, you know, we had 2 sets of encyclopedias, and so if I had any question, they just pointed to the encyclopedias. They wouldn't answer them. So.
You might find you just shift down, Shiloh. You can stay right there where you're at.
Oh, yeah.
Move your microphone with you, Josie.
Is that good?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah, I taught 35 kids like that. I had been a PO in Dallas, and violent offenders and all that. So I decided I wanted to teach. And I was the only certified teacher that school had over there at SS Dillo. Oh my
Yeah.
God, they gave me 35 kids. They were not the redo kids. Yeah, I did the reform school method of training. I split them up into 7 groups of 5 and had them pick their own captain and then their own captain, and then they got voted out if they got in trouble. And you promised them an ice cream party on Friday, and the rest would just watch and let the others enjoy their ice cream. And you had kids being voted out if they weren't gonna be getting their points for their ice cream, so. It was them running them. The trustee
Well,
method
yeah.
in prison is,
Yeah.
and the military and all of that,
Yeah.
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 That's the only way to run a whole bunch of kids like that. Let them run themselves
All right.
with rewards.
Let's do mic checks real quick. Shiloh, and then
Oh, check 1, check 2.
Cool.
Check 1, check 2.
Perfect. You might just want to pull yours a little bit closer to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to lean forward.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You got a little bit, you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, love.
All good.
You got stopped by the cops today.
Oh, you did?
No,
I did.
one Stewart did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you sing your way out of a ticket?
I did. You only gave me a warning.
Nice. Oh, nice. What was it for?
I was on 5 miles an hour with the speed limit.
5 miles?
5
oh,
miles
Man,
an
that guy's
hour.
a jerk.
Yeah.
That guy's a jerk.
He looked like he was about Shiloh's age. I think I might have been his first or second stop.
Was he, was it Euless or Hearst or
It was
Bedford?
Texas Department
Forward?
of Public Safety.
Oh, DPS.
DPS.
Yeah, they give warnings.
What
Yeah.
a jerk.
I remember one stopping me and he said, "You're going over the speed limit." I said, "Well, I was trying to keep up with traffic." "No, you weren't." "Okay, fine." So then he went on the other side of my car, you know, this side, my passenger side. And he said, "Well, you're on probation for speeding." And I said, "Yeah, I know, I could have told you that," but you know, he looked me up. And he said, "What am I supposed to do with you?" And he raises his hands like that. And I thought, oh, they're gonna think I'm holding you up. "Could you please put your hands down?" And he said, "Okay." And I said, you know, a real doofus. But he gave me a warning, thank God. You know, those DPS guys, I feel for them because they're alone.
Yeah.
And I like that they give you warnings, you know, because I've had them ask me to walk, you know, because I was on the shoulder all the time.
Yeah.
But it's because the trucks that were passing me were spitting rocks. They were
Oh, yeah.
construction cars. And my dad was with me, but they had me step out of the car and, you know, "Why are you driving on the shoulder?" Well, I told them that, but they didn't buy that. Then I showed them my badge, you know, my PO badge. "Well, why didn't you tell us you were a probation officer?" "Well, you didn't ask." You know, and that's where my license was, the same place my badge was. How about that?
We're ready.
Yeah, we got to get started.
All right, here we go.
A nice trick.
Yeah.
Could have been a
Thank you for tuning in to listen to our broadcast, Eagle Club Network. We are the future emerging and inspiring global leaders in our entrepreneurs from the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas Metroplex who are a part of the Future Leaders Outreach Network. Pursue Your Dreams Eagle Club Project.
The program, supported by the Family Youth Services Bureau, is developed to teach evidence-based teen pregnancy prevention curriculum that teaches middle and high school students to set boundaries from drugs, alcohol, violence, bullying, and all premature sexual activity. Also, parents and other adults can attend our Parent Involvement Network workshops.
We thought you ought to know.
Our slogan is leaders are like eagles soaring to reach the top. So grab a pad and pen and be ready to write down some valuable practical principles and promising practices that will encourage, empower, cultivate, and motivate you to soar like an eagle to the top of the summit, the highest point to reach.
We thought you ought to know. And now, the Eagle Club Network broadcast.
We are back once again. This is When Eagles Talk, the weekly radio broadcast and podcast here on the Fishbowl Radio Network, put on by Future Leaders Outreach Network. Excuse me. It's another Saturday afternoon. We are glad to be a part of it. I will go ahead and get the little of the housekeeping out of the way. And by the way, Future Leaders Outreach Network is a nonprofit. We are headquartered in Kansas City, Kansas, and we have been around 25, 26 years actually. And our mission, our goal, our purpose is to uplift and empower young people and to assist their families so that those young people can become the best version of themselves, both now and in the future. I want to say hello to and acknowledge our Executive Director, Dr. Diana Clemens. It is her vision that brought this radio broadcast and podcast about, and it is her continued support along with the funding from the Family Youth Services Bureau that keeps it on the air. I want to say hello to and acknowledge our co-founder, Ms. Njeri Shamari, and I want to say hello to and acknowledge the Future Leaders Outreach Board of Directors and staff there in the Kansas City, Missouri area. And I want to say hello to and acknowledge the Future Leaders Outreach Network staff here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Here in the Metroplex, our office is in Arlington, Texas. And again, Future, when Eagles Talk is the title of this podcast, and Eagles is an acronym for Emerging and Aspiring Global Leaders and Entrepreneurs Soaring. And we definitely have such an individual on the other end of the table. How you doing today, Shiloh?
I'm doing great, Mr. Stewart. How are you today, sir?
I am above ground, so it's a good day, no complaints. I was just talking to Shiloh off the air a little bit. He managed to get all A's for his class this last year. Definitely an example of, like you said, what hard work will do.
Yes,
but and some focus. So how many hours a day would you say that you study on average?
I would say at least 4 hours.
Yeah.
Good 4 hours,
Yeah. So for those who might have trouble focusing, definitely try to attempt to find a way to give studying and education some priority, because Shiloh has just grown by leaps and bounds. He's not too far away from your bachelor's degree, huh?
No, I'm not. One more year left.
Yeah. He just graduated from high school last year. He graduated with an associate's degree, and another gone through just about his first year and another year, and he'll have his bachelor's degree, and I'm sure he'll be moving on to his master's. So again, I just wanted to congratulate you. And I know you're going to keep up the work, but just encourage you to keep up the work. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing it well.
Yes, sir.
I will go ahead and let you introduce our guest today, Shiloh.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Hello, everyone. It is our honor and privilege to introduce to you our special guest joining us today, Josephine Juarez. She is a mass communications major at Texas Wesleyan University, where I go to school, and she works for my school newspaper. She has been a part of a lot of community outreach programs, and I am very excited to hear what she has to say today. So without further ado, Josephine, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so can you just start telling our audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, I mean, you did a pretty good job. I am a freshman mass communication major at Texas Wesleyan. I went to I Am Terrell Academy for STEM and BPA, where I was a theater major. My parents are a little bit glad that I didn't choose to stick with that one. I'm a student journalist for The Rambler, and I work with a lot of fun projects. I right now am an ambassador for Torch, which is tackling oppression with resilience, character, and heart, which is a mental health advocacy group, and I'm very glad to be part of it.
Nice. So can you tell us what made you want to become a student journalist in the first place?
I think something that I've always really valued is my community, and I think that a community is only strong when it's informed. And so if we're not able to correctly inform the community, then we're not going to be as strong as we could be. And so whether it's student journalism, like to strengthen our community at Texas Wesleyan, or community outreach like Fort Worth Report, things like that, to help strengthen, where I come from, I think it's important for me to do that and to be the change that I want to see.
That's great. So I guess when you first started working with The Rambler, what were some of your goals that you had when you first joined?
There wasn't a student newspaper at my high school, and I hadn't really done any yearbook, anything like that, where I kind of had dipped my toes into the water. So I was kind of just going like straight into it, which was daunting. But I knew that I wanted to make my voice kind of very clear as a writer. Something that I think is important is having an identifiable tone. I want someone to be able to read my story without reading the byline and knowing oh, Josie wrote that.
Right.
And so I think that was kind of the biggest thing for me, was experimenting with all those different styles and being able to kind of make it my voice.
Nice. So in terms of writing for The Rambler, what are some of the challenges of writing a story, like getting the intro, the body paragraph, all those different aspects? Like how was that any of that challenging to you, or did you already have a kind of a headway on how to do some of that work, I guess?
AP style, The Rambler follows AP style, Associated Press, and it kind of gives you, I guess, a layout if you read enough. Something that I always do when I'm struggling is I go back and read other articles that we've released, and then I read articles from, bigger publications, national publications, and I see how they format their story, and that's important for making it concise with your readers. Like if they're reading other news channels and other newspapers and they're getting their information one way, and then they start to read your story and it's a different format, it gets confusing.
Yeah.
And so it's really easy to, I guess, stay in the AP format, AP style. I think the only thing that I struggle with personally is reaching out to our sources. You're supposed to have at least 3 sources, but I mean, the bare minimum should be 6 that you're gathering, because you never know if they're going to give you the information that is going to fit your angle, the information that is going to be the most potent. And so you need to make sure to get enough sources and be an effective communicator, and I think that that's something that I'm still working on.
Yeah, that's great. And just being able to find your own style in terms of working with the newspaper, and just developing your own aura in that sense. So that's really great. So I know you work with a team on The Rambler. How's that going? Does it kind of help you grow more in terms of learning where you maybe made a mistake, or how's that operating?
Definitely. I feel like everyone at The Rambler, it's kind of become a second home. I spend so much time there. Any free time that I have when I'm on campus, it's going to be up in that Rambler office, even if I'm finished with all my stories for the week, just because of how supportive everyone is. And when I say that it's like a family, I mean, it really is, because there's sometimes when I have a younger brother, and there's sometimes when I'm talking to someone and I'm like, wow, I really feel like I'm back at home arguing with my brother right now. But they've been so helpful, because I'm one of 3 first year students that they brought onto staff. And so a lot of it was just learning from the people around me and learning from my peers, which I think is easier to take because they know how to explain it to you better than an instructor might. Because an instructor can give you all the information, but they're so far ahead in their journey
Right.
that having someone that was in the same position as you, they're going to be able to kind of take what you know and make it simpler.
Yeah, yeah, and also, like you said, teacher can teach you all there is to know, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to apply it yourself so that one day when you maybe become a teacher or somewhere in that profession, you can teach it to someone else and just keeps growing from there. I'm gonna turn it over to you, Mr. Stewart.
Okay, Josephine, you mentioned the AP style for any young people that might be considering a career in communications or journalism. Expound a little bit on what the AP style is.
The AP style is Associated Press, so that's like a news entity of its own. It's the first style that they had centralized. And when you get to bigger publications, they'll have their own code of AP. So like CBS has their own AP style guide that's specifies specific to CBS, but AP has like a list of, it's a format essentially, and so it gives you like grammatical ways to the Oxford comma is gone. I am a fan of the Oxford comma, and as an English major, it's kind of hard to switch between writing for an English assignment or minor. I'm an English minor. For like a writing assignment using the Oxford comma, and then I'm going and getting my edits on my news story, and all of them are like slashed out red, and I'm like, no. But it's essentially there. It's to make sure that what you're reading is concise and as clear as it can be to avoid confusion and misinformation.
So what does that format tell you? What things to put in what place in the story, and how to start it, and where the meat of the story should be, and that kind of thing? And
Exactly. Okay, so we start with our lead. Our lead is essentially like our introduction. That's going to be your who, what, when, where, why. It's going to basically, if you read the lead, you should be able to be like, okay, this is what happened. And then after that is where we get into it. After the lead is our nut graph. I'm sure this is sounding familiar to you.
Yeah.
But basically any of that who, what, when, where, why that you couldn't fit that lead, that's going to be where the nut graph is, and it's just more explanation and expanding on the lead. And then after that is usually setup for a quote or more information. I know a lot of my stories have started to be need more information instead of just straight into quotes, which a recap story might be a lot of quotes, but like a story that I wrote was for a Holocaust exhibit that had come to campus, and so I do the lead, I do the nut graph, and now I need to explain exactly what this Holocaust exhibit does and this nonprofit does, and why they were brought to campus, and why it's important that they're brought to campus, and then I can start getting into the heart of the story, which is the quotes. But so it goes lead, nut graph, and then introduction or information, extra stuff, and then we get setup, quote, setup, quote, setup, quote, basically for the rest of the story. All of the important stuff is going to be at the top. Everything you need to know is going to be probably within those first 4 or 5 paragraphs, because now, especially, the Remember is an online newspaper, and now just with the way that the media is, you kind of need to expect that people are going to click off, so you can't do anything crazy at the end, because not everyone's going to get to that.
Yeah, I know that in music, they used to tell us, that the first 6 to 9, 10 seconds, if you were gonna send someone a demo tape, that you really need to make sure that whatever they listen to, the first 9 or 10 seconds of it, really kind of put the best foot forward, told the gave you the meat of the song, because, you beyond that, especially if it's like an A&R person, they might listen to, 70, 60, 75 tapes a day, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so they're not gonna spend any more than a few seconds listening to any tape that they get. And it's kind of the same thing, especially I think, as reading print has gotten less and less popular. Reading online stuff, it's easy to look at the caption and click off of it and go to something else.
Yeah.
So I think that's more important, for you guys as communication majors, to make sure that the lead has the meat of the story.
Good substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess my next question, Josephine, is in terms of when you write stories, constructive criticism, I know that plays a role in, how the stories are read and formed. In terms of getting feedback, when you receive feedback that maybe you don't like, or maybe it kind of irritates you, like how do you handle those types of things, I guess? Is that something that ever comes up?
Personally, I don't think I've had any moments where I've disagreed with any of the editing. I think that our editor-in-chief, Kinde, does a really great job at making the story stronger, and then Dr. Fortner, who we have, does a great job at, fixing anything or catching anything that might fall through the cracks. But I know for a really long time, a lot of my stories were just getting, pretty minor edits. It was a lot of just style stuff, or maybe like spelling or grammatical errors, as opposed to like, this needs to be moved, this needs to happen, you need to add this. And the first story where I did get a lot of those edits, where it was like, this isn't enough information, the reader won't know what this is, you need to strengthen this part, I was kind of like nervous.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and so I feel like that's a reason for a lot of my introductory stories, why a lot of them had kind of minor edits, because I was like working on them so hard and trying to make sure I hit every base, that when I realized I didn't in that one instance, I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Like, this isn't like me. So I went and I sat down with our editor-in-chief, and he kind of like talked me through why he said that and like why it needed to be strengthened, and I think that just helped me understand. So I just go and ask for more clarity, and that always, it clears everything up, which is nice.
That's good. So, over time, being a journalist and reporter at Texas Wesleyan, what are some of the things that you enjoy the most about having that role?
Something I really love is that it connects me like to the community. I'm a commuter student, I don't stay on campus, and with theater, one of my minors, I stay kind of like secluded, like on one side. And so it's fun to have a part of the community and know about what's going on and help others know about it too, because it's a small school, but I don't think that means that we should stick to ourselves. I think that means that we should be stronger, and that's something that I want to help and I want to do with my journalism, is just kind of strengthen the community and give more information.
Yeah, for sure. I see on your resume you were the president of your theater troupe at your high school.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I was the president of Troop 8917. It was really fun. We had a leadership board, so that was me and my co-president, junior and senior year. If you're elected president, you stay through the run. And then we had like event coordinators, we had like fundraising and things like that. And since it was a school that was for STEM and visual performing arts, I was very surprised that I kind of had such a big role within the theater department. I was also our stage manager for our competition, our UIL shows. And I think what it just taught me was that like, if your peers trust you and they feel safe and connected with you, it's going to be a lot easier to make sure that everything's in order and make sure that everyone is making the most of the experience that they can have. Because I know that I didn't want to create an environment where, like, I hate the kind of system of high school where it's like, oh, let's like be mean to the freshmen, or like they haven't earned their spot yet. Like,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
never something I wanted, and so I was really glad when I was elected president that we could kind of strengthen that bond between all of our students. And it was a really small high school, so it was really easy for us to kind of have those bonds, and for me to, I guess, just support those bonds between all of our students.
For sure. You know, and I like what you said about the freshmen not earning their place, you know, in the high school environment, because, you know, a lot of times, like you said, there's a lot of systems that are put in place to keep people, you know, keep them back from, you know, enjoying the experience of high school and just connecting with other students. And yeah, so I think it's good that you were able to, you know, form good connections, and, you know, you were able to make something good come out of it. So you said that you hosted different shows at your high school, or?
Yeah, I did a lot of acting. But for our UIL show, which is a show that we travel with, I did stage management, which basically just meant I was helping with the traveling. I was calling every single cue in the show, and
Yeah.
I was keeping them in check backstage. And so it was just one of those leadership positions that I think made me a more effective communicator and a leader amongst my peers, and gave me that confidence in doing it.
Nice. I will quickly turn back over to you, Mr. Stewart.
Okay, I'm gonna, I'll ask one question and we'll take a quick break. But you had mentioned, the, being the leader of your high school theater troupe, and, being a leader that could be trusted. How did you go about establishing that trust? Because leadership is something that, a lot of young people even step into the role, not wanting to, but assuming a role of leadership. So how did you build that trust?
I think in the same way that I mentioned the Wrangler office kind of being like a second home to me, I treated my time at Idaho Terrell as a second home as well. Everyone there was like my family. I felt close to them, and I made sure that if they needed space, I would give them space. If they wanted to talk, I would talk. And I think to build that trust effectively, it meant that, like, you understand that sometimes there are moments where they might not want to be there. That doesn't mean that they don't want to be there all the time. That just means that sometimes there's moments where we're feeling a little disconnected, and they need to take that time. And I think that it kind of just goes back to the mental health advocacy that I do, because high school is such a time for everyone, and it can be a very high stress time. It can be a time where, you know, we're going through a lot of things that we might not want to talk about, but I think just giving that space and giving that opportunity for everyone to, you know, speak their minds and be themselves is what strengthens trust within a community.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. We are going to take a very, very quick break, and we will be right back. This is When Eagles Talk here on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Be right back.
Be sure and talk about the transition to college, you know, how to transition and make a future plan from college, from high school to college. This is your first year at Wesleyan this last year? It was Shiloh's first also, because he just graduated last year. You graduated last year? Yeah. He just was at that collegiate high school, so started at a different, you know, with both hours, college and high school.
Where did you go?
I went to TCC.
Oh, okay.
Collegiate
Yeah.
South?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They graduate with college hours because they're taking both college and high school.
Yeah, I wish I did more dual credit in high school, but we only did on-ramps, and most of the AP classes were for math and science, which I'm not as into
Yeah.
at.
Yeah, AP is a lot harder too. Dual credit is better, you know, to do both. Yeah, you're right. I think that's helpful. And also talk about, trying out different things in college and how it doesn't have to be and we talk a lot more, Shiloh, about the college experiences and
Yeah.
what kids can look forward to in college
Oh, yeah.
and preparing to go there.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't a whole lot to do at Wesley, and Shiloh was always looking for where people were meeting and where they were doing stuff, and there wasn't anywhere.
Yeah, that's something
And he
that,
asked about theater, but they wanted to give him a business minor, which now we've negotiated away from. But because he wanted to get into theater there at Wesleyan.
you should.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously Joe Brown isn't the head of the department anymore, but he's like the nicest. I originally wasn't a theater major, I was just mass communication.
Yeah.
I'm big on vintage.
And I emailed him a little
Just
from
stuff
our
like that. That's all they're
town,
doing now,
theater
is
in
just remaking the
Wesleyan, so
stuff
let me
they
know
were
what I
making back
gotta
in the
do.
day.
Yeah.
And he
Might
did,
as well go straight
and
to
I'm
the
out of
source.
mine there.
He's gonna be a senior next year, but he's got some
It's just
courses. You
blatant
could
now,
add
though, you know?
theater
I
to
mean, I
that,
feel like,
Shiloh.
you know,
Yeah.
Now with your new advisor,
things-
tell him about it.
When I was younger, that
Or
like,
even if you
like
don't
Converse,
have,
you know, Chuck
don't want to
Taylor,
take a
things
class,
like
if
that,
you'd
that
be
were
ever
always
interested
kind
in
of
like auditioning or something like that, they're open to everyone.
How does he get to do that?
It's like, I don't know.
They
there's
don't
like
really
a
publicize it
creativity
well, but if you follow their
block
Instagram,
on
we haven't
the
released
industry,
receiving plans
of
for that,
everything,
but
yeah,
if you
every
follow
entertainment.
Instagram,
Yeah.
they'll release
You
the
know,
season
and now
and then
you got
they'll
people
usually
relying on
release the
AI to
audition
write
dates with them.
scripts.
Yeah.
And then
do
you
stuff,
just
so.
need to
Then I'll
email
watch
Jacob
some of those
Sanchez
reactions,
or Jacob Rivera Sanchez,
videos on YouTube.
and he
that's the
sends
common
out their
thread that I get from a lot of
audition
those.
notices.
Oh, okay.
Write that down,
reactions,
Shiloh, so you
videos,
can
yeah.
audition for
They're like,
stuff.
Or then, I mean, now that I know, I'll make
60s,
sure to
70s,
let you know
so
as
much
well,
better.
Yeah,
but
thank you.
they're
They all
usually
say,
within the first week
we'll
of
hear
the
a record and we'll go see that
semester,
artist in concert. And
Yeah, because he was
it
gonna
doesn't
look for
sound
some
anything
theater
like the
classes
record,
for
and
the
they
summer,
just
you
feel
know,
it.
just out in the
Yeah, they
community.
rely on the
Oh, yeah.
producer.
I wish I was
And
more
producers
kind of
not up on
into
stage and, yeah.
theater
Yeah.
classes
It's
within the
a-
community. I know.
Are you
Funny
familiar
times.
with Artes de la
Yeah.
Rosa?
Oh my
I was talking
goodness,
about
yes.
that.
They've
I-
you've gotta do a lot of, you could do some really neat things with them. They've got a lot of
I guess
opportunities.
they're having the
Wow.
Dallas Blues Festival.
I know that I
Oh, yeah.
kind of been
Yeah.
over there. I worked
Looking
at North
the
Side
lineup,
Community
we were
Center
just
last
listening
year,
to
so I was
some
kind of in that
guys,
area.
and I'm
And
like,
then
hey,
just
okay,
even
they
as a
make
kid,
good
I would
music,
go there
but
for a
that's
lot of
not
things.
No.
It is
So,
not.
but I've never been to a show or anything there.
You need to go. And we also went to the Jubilee Theater
You know, what
downtown.
happened? It just sounds like AI.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Like,
Shadow and I went to one,
it's not really
last
bluesy,
month.
It's like,
Yeah.
It was good. God's Trombone is what we saw. Jubilee Theater is right there on Main. It's African American mainly, but it's very good. And then Artes de la Rosa, but they've got a lot of, you ought to try that out because it'd be a good internship site too for you if you ever needed one. If you do want a theater, but if not, stay with a newspaper, you know.
Like, I'm
And
sure you've heard
Canadian,
that
I
Keith George
know,
guy.
has
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of
Good
internship
music, but I just
opportunities
don't
at
feel like
Canadian Theater. It's also on Main Street.
It's more,
And
it's more,
they have a really
what you
interesting
call it,
business model. It's like a pay what you
What do
can
you call that?
for the
Really?
tickets.
it's that
And they're
Chicago kind of,
it's on, I don't know where exactly,
that's
but
that dance
Academy
music.
Theater
That's what I
is
mean.
also
Yeah,
on
yeah.
South Main.
yeah, it's not blues.
It's kind of like
That's
that,
the
like
blues I
arts
know.
district,
No, it's got a-
cultural
yeah,
It's
district.
got a, lyrically,
And it's great.
It's got
And
kind of
obviously,
bluesy
like they
thing
have a
to it.
suggested
Yeah,
cover of
yeah,
like
but,
$15,
you know,
but
in the.
I think that makes
in
it the kind of pay what you can makes it
that
really
kind of thing.
accessible
But
for.
So talk about availability of all the career opportunities for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you want to share that
Country
with,
almost, but like,
with the
like
public, with all the
R&B
kids.
feel on it. No real instruments. It's all produced.
Yeah,
It's all digital instruments.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Stewart, did you bring the, Dr. Clemens said something about the prep class or those topics or something like that? She
Oh.
sent an email.
I did
Check
not-
it when you have a chance.
Yeah, I did not bring them with me. The adult preparation subjects.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been covering a lot of the topics, but.
Yeah, you know, I make sure, as long as we relate what we're talking about to young people, careers and everything.
Which we
then-
are.
Yeah, which we do, so.
Yeah,
I guess
we're
we
gonna
go
have
back,
another young person in about 2 weeks. Next week, if Judge Hicks backs out, which we think she will, Shiloh has an opportunity, and if we get an extra ticket, we'll let you know,
Okay.
to go spend the morning with Jim Nance.
Oh, okay.
the NFL and golf announcer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with First Tee
Oh,
from 9 to 12.
yeah, I haven't heard his voice in a while. Count us in, I think a little, yep.
He's gonna be in town in Fort Worth at First Tee, kicking off Colonial.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. 3, 2.
We are back. This is When Eagles Talk, the weekly radio broadcast and podcast here on the Fishbowl Radio Network, put on by Future Leaders Outreach Network. Again, really quickly, Future Leaders Outreach Network, or FLON as we are known, is a nonprofit. We teach age-appropriate, medically accurate curriculums throughout schools, community centers. Our goal is to impart into young people the skills and the attitude necessary to be a success in today's world. And we do that through teaching curriculum and mentorship and getting involved with families and teaching family subjects and giving advice and again, we just want to see the young people of the world be as successful as they possibly can. And this broadcast is about that as well. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to what I consider to be an ongoing success story. Our host, Shiloh. Go ahead, Shiloh.
Yes, sir. So, Josephine, to start back off, the transition from high school going off to college, would you rate it as a big transition, or how do you define that?
For me, and like my close friend group, I was one of the only kids who had stayed kind of in town.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't as big as a transition as I know some of them were making. And I was so familiar with Wesleyan's campus. I'd done a lot of choir events there in my time, and I toured it, I think, like twice. And so I wasn't as nervous about that as I was about just the fact that I had to like make myself known again.
Yeah.
Because I love to talk, but I'm a little bit shy when I like first meet people, and so I was kind of nervous, like how easily I'd be able to find my place. And I mean, the answer was very, but that's what I was kind of nervous about more than anything, was like the people, because I felt personally that I knew the campus and I would do well with the curriculum, that it was just a personal challenge and not an academic challenge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess in terms of the careers and different things that Texas Wesleyan offers, can you tell us a little bit about some of the clubs and student organizations that people can get involved in on campus?
Of course, I can do the best of my ability. A lot of the stories that I've been writing are about the Latinx Student Association, or LSA, and their president just graduated, I'm pretty sure, but I mean, they do a lot of great things. They held a protest within one of the last weeks of school, which was very fun and very, it was very great to report on, just because that was one of the more recent demonstrations we've had on campus. We have the Black Student Association, which had been hosting film nights. They do free lunch every Wednesdays, which I think is a great resource, especially because a lot of college students are kind of food insecure. There's Division of Student Affairs. They'll send out each week like what's going on around campus. Connect College Ministry is great if you are religious, and anyway, it's people from all religions are in that group, but it's a great place to meet people. I was there for a while and I met a lot of really close friends there. Greek life is coming back to campus. I wrote a story about that. I can't tell you exactly which ones are officially established on campus, and so I don't want to like say any names.
Yeah.
Because they might get, it's a thing. But I think that's great for building community, is the Greek life. And then, of course, Theater Wesleyan. I love Theater Wesleyan. It's a very strong community, and I mean, if you want to get in, it's not too hard to. So make sure to talk to your people about that.
Nice. Thank you. I read that you used to, or you are currently, have the ability to get people registered to vote. Is that correct?
I do. I'm a volunteer deputy registrar. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
It started in my high school. In our government class, you had to be like a senior to take the government class, and so during one of those class periods, we had another VDR come in and get all of us who wanted to and were able to register to vote. She made sure to get us registered, and at the end, she was telling us about working the polls. And I didn't end up doing that, but I did talk to her about having interest in doing that. And she was like, oh, well, if you can't work the polls, you should be a VDR, which is voter deputy registrar. And I can get anyone in Tarrant County registered to vote as long as they're 17 years and 10 months of age. I do more voter registration drives at my high school. And I want to start doing it at other high schools. I mean, Texas Wesleyan is so close to Polytechnic High School. I live really close to Southwest High School. I mean, I have kind of that tie, I guess, with some of the community centers, so I would love to be able to do some of that there as well. But it's been a fun experience. I know that I haven't been able to get that many people. I'd say maybe only like 40 maximum registered to vote, but I think that it's really important, especially for young students, to become more politically involved.
That's great. I read on your resume you want to be an entertainment journalist. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. What would you say is one of your favorite stories that you have covered on Texas Wesleyan's campus? Would you say?
Texas Wesleyan's campus. I really loved covering the student organization competition. It was the first video broadcast that I'd ever done, and so it was definitely a very big learning curve and process of getting my bearings in terms of all the software and editing, and it was a lot. And I don't think it's the best video in the world or anything, but I had a great time being there and meeting with all the people, and it was just such a fun environment. And it happens every semester. It's our student work competition, but not a lot of people know about it, and it's a great way to get funding for your student organization, and it's also just a fun community thing that I think more people should be aware of.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to quickly turn it back over to you, Mr. Stewart.
Okay. So you said that you took journalism in high school as a senior. Not journalism, but government.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, government. And we've talked a lot on this podcast about getting young people to assume to take civic duty seriously and assume some civic responsibility. So first of all, do you think that taking government helped you to become civically responsible? And then how do you think that we can get more young people involved?
Well, I know for me it was a graduation requirement to take government. I'm pretty sure it's for all Fort Worth ISD at least. And I do think it helped me become more aware of how we got to this point, because government for us was more about the beginnings and how it started and the systems, how it all got started, and we didn't really touch on as much recent government stuff. So I wouldn't say it made me more politically aware in the sense of what's going on currently in our nation, but it made me more politically aware and where we used to be and how it contributes to society as a whole. I think that for a lot of people to become more civically engaged, they need to feel more comfortable talking about it without having that pushback. We're in a very hyper-partisan kind of time in terms of government and media. And so basically, no matter who you are, if you voice your opinion, there's going to be someone that's going to push back. And that can make it scary for a student to like try to get involved, because all they've been met with their whole lives, no matter what their belief is probably something similar to like, oh, that's not right. And I think that that kind of makes it harder for people to get engaged. Yeah, just because of how hyper-partisan everything is. But I think that if we move to a more, if we shift to that idea of civic discourse and civic debate instead of I'm right, you're wrong, no matter how you feel about it, that's what's gonna be the best for everyone and for helping more people get civically engaged.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because it's easy to, I believe it's easy to make a young person hesitant to get involved by cutting down every idea that they have as insignificant, you know. And I know that it makes people not want to voice their opinion because they don't feel like it's valid. And that is really an effect of this hyper-partisan environment that we live in, where everything is being challenged. I know that even, I know Shiloh, we've talked about some things off camera where people have challenged some things that he said that they were just challenging it so that they could get some attention.
Prove that they're right.
Yeah, they weren't challenging you, would they need logical validity. They were just challenging you to get someone, to get some attention and get someone to comment on what they had to say.
Right, and then kind of like my grandpa says, like he'll say, like the loudest person in the room is not always necessarily the smartest, you know.
Yeah.
So
No, they're just the loudest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in many cases, the loudest person is attempting to conceal that they are not the smartest person in the room.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I think that I do long for the time when we get back to more to realizing that it's okay to disagree. You don't have to be angry to disagree. You can disagree, and because everything that we are, everything that we have, everything that we become, it came out of an environment of disagreement. We disagreed, and then we agreed about the disagreement, and that's where the growth came from.
Right.
You know, but you don't get growth without overcoming circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I guess my next question, Josephine, is I guess what advice would you maybe give to someone who's looking to pursue a career in journalism?
I think what has helped me is the act of doing it. Because you can learn a lot from your classes. I know that my professors have been very insightful and they've helped me a lot, but I think what's helped me more is being able to do it. So I would say even if maybe your high school is like mine and it doesn't really offer a journalism course, or, you know, I know that I didn't do the yearbook in my high school, and if you also don't want to do the yearbook, like I'm there with you, I get you. But like UIL has a lot of journalism opportunities if you would ever be interested in that, or even just reading the news and like analyzing it, not necessarily what they're saying, but the structure of it is going to be so helpful in your understanding of how to structure a story and how to write a story. And so even if you're just practicing and you're not like actually going to, you know, publish it, becoming familiar with that is going to help you grow as a writer. And it's just, you can never stop. It's you gotta go.
Yeah.
Because if you stop, then, you know, the media moves. The media is fast, it's quick. So you've got to kind of stay on top of it.
For sure.
One last one, Shiloh.
Oh, okay. So I guess my last question for you, Josephine, is what message would you like to leave with our listening audience today?
I guess nobody's trajectory is the same. I know going into high school, there was a lot of comparing myself to others. And I think that that's what held me back for a while, is seeing how other people were doing it. I think you've got to kind of, march to the beat of your own drum and like not be nervous or that you're falling behind, because like you're keeping your time, and as long as you feel that you're working to the best of your abilities and giving everything all you can, then you're going to get to where you want to be eventually. It's a process.
I agree.
And I've seen Shiloh learn to do that more and more, march to the beat of his own drum. And as he does, I think his ascension has gotten a little more impactful. I won't say quicker, but it's gotten more impactful, where you're more comfortable, taking chances and doing things a little differently. So
Yeah.
I would agree. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your as a young person, sharing your story. It is just gratifying to see people take their education seriously, take their future seriously, because especially with a lot of our advertising just tells us, just attempts to dumb us down. Just don't think about anything, just buy. Just don't
Right.
so
Give into the system.
yeah. So it is encouraging to be around young people that are taking their lives and their education seriously. So we're gonna go ahead and get us out of here. Shiloh, go ahead and take us home.
Yes, sir. As me and Mr. Stewart always tell you guys, take time to truly love yourself, because if you do, it will be that much easier to love somebody else. We'll see you guys back here next time. Take care.
Now we're gonna take pictures out here, and go see if you're done. You keep saying that your teachers taught and taught. I didn't see Fortner doing any teaching. Now, we've had him in here, we interviewed him. He's a nice man, but I never saw him providing instruction on how to write or how to this. I saw him making 80 million assignments, which Shiloh worked on.
AI artists.
But
It's
he doesn't really like
bittersweet.
teach.
I love technology.
Yeah, it's kind of
So I love
interesting,
seeing
because I feel like he has a lot of anecdotes, and that's when I learned. It's
Yeah,
when
and
he's
he has
sharing
his
stories.
book. Have you read his book?
White Collar Black Men.
Yeah.
I had a copy of it for a while, and then I lent it to someone else, so I don't know.
Yeah, he published it himself.
Artists perform.
He's a nice man, whatever, but I never saw him like really give instruction other than like you said, with anecdotes. And I know Shiloh wrote that story about Annalie.
You know what I'm saying? Because these
For the
older athletes,
gradual?
they're doing it from here, and people are feeling it.
Of course, it didn't
Whereas
make it.
the young actors aren't feeling it.
Yeah.
It was in his top
That's the
three.
main thing I'm
He
getting from
got,
a lot of these reaction videos.
man, when she gave him resources, she had tons of resources.
He said musically, he
But,
said, there's a
Some
saying
other
that-
story
that,
got in because Dr. Dean,
hard
this
times,
is for you and thank you.
Hard times create strong men.
Dr.
Strong
Dean,
men create
picked
good
somebody
times.
else,
Good
he still,
times
rated A in
create
his
men.
class, but,
You know,
yeah, I didn't
you know,
see him
create
really like
placement in good times.
expanding on,
And musically, that has kind of happened along with culturally.
like
We've
you
gotten to a place where,
explained the
you know,
AP
technology and
method,
everything
25 million, and we have the
creates
AP
such a
book,
good time
more
where
than,
we've got songs.
he ever did.
That's kind of interesting, because
Things
it all,
that
I feel like a lot of his
really
entrainment
edify
happens
the
in the
spirit,
first
right.
week, and so it's
You know,
like after the first
Music
week,
is such a
it's
big
all
part of that.
just like
do it.
reiterating that and like do that. Now apply
And like
it.
Shiloh did, he would go read stories and get ideas and the leads and all this and the quotes and then his main criticism
anybody come
was,
in behind us?
you don't do enough with Wesleyan. Well, there's a whole world outside of Wesleyan. Hello? Why does all the articles have to be about
Who
Wesleyan?
did you guys have on your show this past week?
I think it
Speaking
something
facts.
else
Oh,
is
we
that
ended up doing an
since I worked
archive
with him
because
too for
Charlamagne
grammar,
had to.
I feel like a lot
I
of
was gonna bring Shiloh on, but I don't know what happened.
She
Go ahead.
bought a house
Yeah,
in
it's
the
just
guy
our work
didn't
study
pay her rent for
funding.
3 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
crazy
okay.
right now.
And I said,
So I don't know if
why
Shiloh
did you file
qualifies
a
for
pay
it,
to
but
quit?
I don't know if
Could've had it on 3 days.
Shiloh qualifies for work study, but
So anyway,
a lot of our staff,
she-
I'm work study, a lot of
he
our
left
staff is work
stuff
study,
in the
and so we
garage,
don't
stuff in
have.
the, and the hot guy
He
was
does
taking house
surrender
as is,
that
but not
because he
the
wants to
stuff.
be
So she had to
like,
work that night till 9 or 10 o'clock at night,
like,
cleaning his house and his garage out.
And I know that there's something going on with our work study for next year and just our regular
That's
funding
wild.
for next year. And so I think
wild.
Dr. Dean mentioned that she
Yeah,
has to
yeah.
like.
This guy just left me.
job,
Yeah,
he
the
doesn't know,
bathroom floor was
we're gonna
just
be
not
able
the
to
floor.
add new